Good morning, y'all. Good morning and happy Saturday to you. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to Hoplop Land. And I want to come on and say, first of all, I am so sorry for my absence the last several days. I think the title of this video helps you understand what a challenging and fraught with, I don't know, a whole needing to re-envision my time management this week required. I'll tell you, I pride myself on being, especially with work, super organized. And I know I'm a Hoplop girl. Look, I know that. It's something I had to train myself to do. It didn't come naturally. But this is kind of my Bible for my work life and for medical appointments and that sort of thing. And then I have this book, which is all of this is my happy place, where I do all my crafting kind of goals. And then this French book is all my goal setting. So I am that ridiculously scheduled. And normally it works really well. You know this, I make adjustments, I learn from it. Well, this was a hefty work week. And so I planned in advance. I got up at 5 or 5:30 a.m. on most days to have extra making time. I budgeted out my time. I figured out what I wanted to take on here, because you all know I was repainting everything, right? Like my display boards and setting up my classroom. So I had extra things to do on top of my regular week. Then I had work, and teacher planning meetings. And then I have other obligations, like other things I have to do, in addition to all my videos. And y'all, it was all planned out perfectly. And I sort of did something that I don't do too often. I sort of put off making for 2 days in the week, because I decided that if I really buckled down, if I really put my head down and worked really, really, really hard, I would have everything done for work by Wednesday, late afternoon. Now, I knew I'd be exhausted. Talk about using up all your spoons, but I thought it would be worth it, because then it would give me all day Thursday to watch your videos, make, create, and then after work on Friday, and then on the weekend. But y'all, sometimes you plan and you put all your eggs in a basket, and then other things come up that you just didn't anticipate, and the whole world goes topsy-turvy. So that's what happened to me this week. I had a set schedule and a plan, and every day something came up that I hadn't anticipated that ate a chunk of time. Now, at the beginning of the week, that wasn't so treacherous, because I said, okay, well, I just won't make a video today. I'll make up that time. And the next day I went on and I stuck to the schedule and I was fine. But every day there was something. And by Thursday, the day where I was supposed to have all to myself to do everything, catch up, creative, enjoy, and it was my reward for sort of being creativeless all week, something major had to be looked after that ate every ounce of energy I had for the day. And I had an obligation to do in the later evening too. So the whole plan exploded. So what did I learn from this? A couple of things. Putting all my eggs in one basket is not a good idea. Postponing my creative pursuits until I can have more time is not a good idea, because I can plan all I want, but life has its own plan. And what I really sort of sat and processed this morning is when I went back and I looked, because I also keep a time log, which may seem ridiculous, but that's from working in advertising. This week in particular, I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting time. So I kept a log of everything I did. So it's not like the week was without its successes. You're going to see in a video later today, I finished Corbin's letter zine. I managed to get that done. Y'all probably noticed I actually painted my own nails for once. Now I have to cut them down and redo them. I did manage to prep my desk and the boards and gesso them. I just didn't finish them, but I did at least get the prep done. And I completed some other things too. Like I did manage to do my goal of, Misty's making with the backgrounds and the ATCs and the Valentine's Day. So it's not like it was without any success, but I keep track of every goal, every task in a day, and then I give myself a grade out of 100. And if I'm not hitting somewhere between 70 and 80%, then I know I'm failing. And this week, y'all, there were days where honestly, I didn't even hit 40. And so by yesterday, at the end of the workday yesterday, I was not only out of spoons, because I had pushed and gotten up at 5 in the morning to get this done, but I was creatively drained. And so I realized that was really a mistake. You see, y'all, I don't know if you feel this way, but if I don't make every day, if I don't allow myself room to both make, read, and write every day, because I'm also a writer, I'm miserable. And if I do that too many days in a row, I'm really unhappy. And on top of that, if I'm already using up all my other spoons, if I don't have anything creative to gift me back, then I'm going to be even less productive. So although I was disciplined and although I worked through everything, and I did meet all my work obligations and meetings except for one because there was a conflict with another important meeting, this week was an epic failure in terms of this channel, in terms of making, in terms of my own happiness. So I think it was a great opportunity for growth. So I got up this morning early and I took a really critical look at this week and how this happened. And really, it was me being willing to push aside my creative needs in order to meet my obligations, which is how you're supposed to live your life, right? You have to put your priority, your life is in priorities. And I have so many, you could argue, well, Alicia, it would be impossible to meet them all. It is impossible to meet everything I want to do. It is impossible. But I rank them in terms of A, B, C, D priorities. And I met all my A priorities, which is good. I didn't let anyone down. That's a good thing. But I sure didn't even scrape B. And in terms of myself and self-care, this was not a good week, y'all. I'm lucky that I woke up this morning feeling okay. Now, my husband helped me process this better. I actually reached out to my best friend because I was so frustrated on Friday evening that I reached out to her. And she's usually the one that can sort of put this in perspective for me, but even she couldn't. But my husband did. And he sort of framed it really nicely. He said, look, during COVID, he's struggling like many people are struggling to find purpose in the day. He said, you don't struggle like that. Why? Because you've been in training for this kind of struggle for the past 10 years. Ever since you got diagnosed with your disease, you've had to struggle every day. You've had to overcome every day. I never looked at it like that before. It was kind of an epiphany moment. He's right, actually. I let that process last night and today, and he's right. So, every time my illness got worse, I had to accommodate it somehow. Whether that meant getting up 2 hours early before class to make sure my brain is cleared, or it's taking breaks so that I don't use up every last spoon and collapse and not be able to finish my jobs. I've had to adjust my life at every stage of my illness and make accommodations to overcome. So he said, you have trained yourself to overcome. So during COVID, where most of us have never had to overcome, we're struggling. We're struggling to find like that energy to, do basic, simple things. And you don't have that because you struggle every day of your life and you just have this push through. And that's why you're not having the same experience. What I did have this week is that I pushed through, but I didn't budget in time for obstacles beyond my control. And it threw everything into chaos. And it ate every minute I had. And because I hadn't allocated any creative time, except for those set times that I told you about, and those got eaten, that was a huge mistake. So I say this to you, I'm making this video because I know so many people have said lately they're struggling with Crafty Mojo, or they're struggling to get over the inertia. I also want to share with you that failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Like, I was super frustrated. The girls will tell you because they talked to me Thursday night. I was super frustrated on Thursday. Saturday morning, it's a whole new perspective, y'all, and a whole new week to make important changes. And the same thing I tell my students, there is no such thing as failure. Failure is an opportunity because it gives us information we didn't have before. So looking at this morning, that's what I spent 3 hours doing, was studying this week. I see where I made my mistakes. And now I can try to make sure at least I never repeat those ones. I'll make new ones, y'all, but I won't make the same ones twice. So I hope this helps you understand what happened this week, and I apologize. It wasn't a ghosting for emotions. It wasn't anything like that. It literally was life intervened with my plans, and I hadn't budgeted any room for that. And it was a tight week. The first 2 weeks of school back were tough. But boy, this really upset the apple cart. Thankfully, y'all, I'm back on track. I will be making a video today for those of you who want to see Corbin's amazing little letter zine. His is really fun. I will share with you too, I do have the new mic out and ready to test. I just didn't want to do it this morning because I didn't want to waste time getting this video done, but that's the new one and it's super fancy. It might pick up all sorts. You might be able to hear the egrets outside. It's that sensitive. That could be a good or a bad thing. I'm way behind on setting up my classroom and office, y'all. As you can see, everything is primed and gessoed, but nothing is painted yet. I don't know how much. I'm gonna have to do it in little spurts And it's the same thing with the Crafty reorg. I had to halt it. So it's mid-process. But you know what? Again, what a learning opportunity. I counted on having those days that I set aside. I forget that life also has its own plans. So there's a little bit of advice to y'all. When making your schedules, leave in a cushion of an hour, at least a day, maybe an hour and a half, where you don't plan, because you just don't know what life is going to bring you, y'all. All right, well, clearly I'm behind on videos, I'm behind on comments, I'm behind on mail, and I can't do the draw for my birthday because I have to finish showing you the mail first. It's going to be a slow catch up, y'all, but I'm going to do my best. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it, y'all. All right, take real good care, and I'm going to be watching your videos today because you want to know what my favorite technological investment has been? These earbuds. So while I can't comment while I'm working on stuff, I can listen to you and walk around the place and do all sorts of tasks. I don't know why I waited so long to get these, y'all. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite technological buy for this year. All right, y'all, I will see you later on today. Bye for now, and happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday.